know you're welcome to your favorite social media program, The Boss. I am Rose Johnson, and I have my amazing co-host with me, Covenant, over to you, girl.
Good afternoon, our wonderful and dear viewers. You are listening to The Lagos Girl. You are watching The Lagos Girl on The Buzz with Rose Blossom. And yes, we have amazing guests in the studio with us. But I'll let Miss Blossom do the introduction.
Yes, before the introduction, I want you to know that we have a YouTube channels, we have an app on Google Play Store and Apple Play Store. We have also a social media handles, which of course you can follow, like, and keep watching us right there live and direct. And I have a amazing regular favorite guest for today. Is I'm going to start from my senior journalist, a lecturer, and a social analyst, Nigerian. Welcome to the show. Good afternoon.
Blossom, good to be here.
Okay, good to meet
Welcome to the show,
you
sir.
Today. I like it. Okay, we also have in the building Shegun. He's a business and financial consultant. He's also the chairman of Those Network. Welcome to the show, sir. Good to have you.
Thanks for having
Welcome
me.
to the
Always
show.
good to be here,
Shegun.
surrounded by beauty.
Yay! I like that one. Okay, so we're just going to go into the proposal, and of course the first topic of what you covenant.
Oh yes, NCAA to sanction airline operators for delayed tickets refund. Nigerian Civil Aviation Authorities is ready to sanction any airline delayed tickets refund to the passengers. NCAA Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, Mr. Michael Ashimogu, made this known in a statement on Tuesday in Abuja. According to him, ticket refund compliance regulation remains central to the NCAA's consumer protection agenda. He said the time had come for airlines to adhere strictly to the refund timelines, as failure to comply will attract immediate sanctions under Part 19 of the regulations. The director said the Part 19 of the NCAA's Regulation 2023 aimed to safeguard passenger rights. Speaking on a specific case involving Airpace, the director said that the airline has exceeded the stipulated refund time frame, compelling the NCAA to demand swift compliance. According to him, the incident has triggered the regulators to take decisive action against any form of non-compliance.
Okay. This is actually a very good deal when I saw it, because a lot of people complain about the way they just shift flights and to make a refund. It's always stressful. Celebrities have come out that affected almost everybody that I know, especially celebrities. Sometimes you feel like they can evade such things, but it actually happens to them. But looking at this, do you actually think because they already know about the act and they are already faulting with the act, but do you think this will make a change moving forward?
Look, this song is a serious song. Song that they've been singing for long, and it's still being sung, and later in life still continue singing. In fact, it is not about returning or refunding. No, that is not even the issue. You have an agreement. I want to fly your plane. You ask me to pay an amount, I pay. You are going to pay up so time. I'm going to depart so time. I'm going to arrive so time. We've agreed. It's an agreement. By the time you fail in your own responsibility, you are not going to refund only my money. I've wasted time.
Yeah.
Some people, their means of livelihood have been lost.
Yeah.
You must pay if that person can prove it. In fact, it is a high time that NCAA should make sure if a flight is 200,000 naira and you make people to miss their flight, you want to make refund times 2. Yeah. Because at times 2 cannot even pay for the damages.
Exactly.
Just imagine you want to go to Abuja, you want to defend a contract. One airline, assuming you've known, you will have gone by road. Yeah. Even maybe 2 days before, you will have done that. So if I now lose that kind of contract, to now make a refund within the stipulated time, if you have to talk, it's not only about the airline, banks that you are going to transfer. If you don't reach destination, they've already debited you. By the time you now want to, what happened? They will now ask you. You go to the bank. I know one bank. I won't mention their name. If they need to refund you, if you don't go to any of their branch, they will never do it. It's not only a bank.
Wow.
Or Kolo. So another thing again is that until we know the right of consumers in all ramifications, you overpay somebody or maybe government agency to get the money back. Even federal government, even state government, when you overpay to get it back. Especially anything that has to do with land in some states. Because you pay by code, immediately you overpay. You go write letter tire before maybe 2 years before they will refund it. So we must make sure that the right of the consumers at every point in time, especially the airline and all these downfall drivers also should be hearing too. You say you are going to take people to Ikeda under bridge. When you get to Junction of Iporo, you enter from Unity, you drop them in the middle of Iporo. You say that is under bridge. As if the unit is under bridge. You drop them. So they should also know. By the time we are taking up on all these particular things. And what is important there is that in the Senate line, you do this kind of thing, you pay for it.
Yeah.
Because they are going to quantify what that person will have lost. Yeah. You lost time psychologically. Do you know how somebody have stayed in the airport for 12 hours? Another thing is that nobody will come and talk to you. At least if there is a problem, somebody will come to you, we have a problem, just be calm, whatever. Exactly. Nobody. Wow. They will not left you there.
Wow.
Thank God that this one is coming, but we've had this song again. We just hope that NCA will take it as a cause. We have to really fight it for the consumers.
Okay, thank you very much, Nuruddin. Shegun, what's your take about this one?
Well, I mean, I think he said most of what there is to be said. It's an epidemic, or maybe we should call it epidemic in Nigeria. You know, this issue. I'm telling you, I have suffered victim of this recently, both with the airlines and with the banks. I still have a significant amount of money stuck in one of these banks. You know, that didn't arrive at the destination, and I can't claim refund from the beneficiary. I have to go to the bank. I've been to the bank and I'm waiting, and they told me that imagine a bank telling me that they said 5 to 30 working days.
5 to 30
working days.
But they will add interest.
Because if you have used the way maybe we'll ask them afterwards. The airline, you know, this very same airline that is the subject of this matter. You know, my family traveled just before late November into early December to Benin, and you know, my entire family. And the first thing that happened was they sent us text messages twice, changing the time of the flight, even though I had made personal plans to move them to the airport. So my plans fell apart and I had to move them myself. We got to the airport at the final, after third postponement, only for them to tell, I dropped them, went home. Then my wife now called me that I should come back.
Wow.
because they had postponed it. In fact, they had now rescheduled it entirely till the following day. So the following day, 7 a.m. So some people were demanding to be put in a hotel, and I said, yes, that's actually the proper thing to do.
Exactly.
They shouldn't even be asked, you know. So my wife said she wanted to stay and see that through. That if they agreed to put them in a hotel, that should they go and stay? I said, don't worry, just come home. But they should do that. They should commit to it. So I went to pick my family. We got to the airport at 7 a.m. when they said the flight had been rescheduled to. They shifted it again.
Oh, really?
So some of the passengers were now demanding for a refund there and then. And the guy, one or two of them didn't get their monies back, but they refused to fly. They went to fly with them because, you know, they had something they were going to do. Yes. You know, so these things happen all the time. And all we hear are these platitudes, these threats. What's stopping NCA from just sanctioning? Why do you have to give them warning? Which warning again? These things happen every day with all of these airlines. However, I think it's important to also point out that we need to look at the root cause. Why is it happening?
Exactly.
You know, this earpiece. I mentioned their name. Is that okay? This earpiece, when they first started some years ago, they were incredible.
Yes.
They were the epitome, you know, of efficiency and operational excellence in the airline industry. Before them, I can mention on the fingers of my two hands airlines that when they came were fantastic, but as time passed, they all joined they joined the standard manner. So what exactly is it about the operating environment within the airline industry that breeds inefficiency, that breeds, at the end of the day, you find that people are trying to cut corners? Is it that the costs are too much? Is it that profit is too little? You know, so I think those root causes are the things that we need to really, really explore and find lasting solutions to, beyond depending on toothless bulldog regulators. I have friends there, they may be watching me. Guys, you know, the truth must be said.
Yeah, it must be
the
said.
truth must be said. This is just pure backing without bite. See, if you sanction one airline, I keep saying that one of the problem we have with this country is a lack of consequence management.
Yes.
The moment there is consequence for bad behavior, people will align fast. You just see
up.
that everybody will just line up like this and everybody's head will be straight. Sanction one or two airlines. Scapegoat. We don't use scapegoating in this country enough. Scapegoat two airlines. Take this airpiece as an example. They are serial infractors. Scapegoat them heavily. Give them a fine that will threaten their very existence. Then let's see what will happen. Whether others will not fall in line. No matter what your professional challenges are, you will respect the rights of your customers. You know, so as long as we keep issuing all these meaningless threat statements, we keep getting the same behavior from these people.
Is that one of the takeouts, no matter the name people want to give to military government, what makes military government different is consequence.
Yes, yeah, very
exactly.
I could recall when I was in secondary school.
Log your father.
When I was in secondary school, secondary school is one kind of secondary school that, in fact, because we are only boys,
yes,
there a lot of crisis. The day they move a platoon to our school, you know when you make noise, it's not teachers that will punish you. They will send you to the soldiers, put you in guard room.
Wow.
When you are in guard room from morning, they will feed you. They will feed you inside the bag. When you are closed, they will release you to go. So they say that in class self, people will not talk. They will just fold their hands like this.
because
there is consequence. One of the things that every regulator in every agency, every field now is because majority of our investors in different environments, they take things for granted. They don't even follow the rule. You will see somebody that was approved to build just one-story building. You will raise it to a 5-story building. Nothing will happen. At the end of the day, they will settle themselves. By the time we make sure that if you do anything, this is what the rule says, face it. I'm telling you, majority, it's just like what he said. If 1-2 airlines have been sanctioned,
the rest would.
I'm telling you, look at the reason why we are still having something in electricity is because of this. I know one of my offices that 2021 to 2022, we use light. We did not pay a cover. We took them there because they know that the one that did what is wrong. They said for 1 year. For 1 year, we just kept prepared here. 1 year, they are just even know that we are using it. 1 year, they even gave us a notice. 2 months that in next 2 months, you're free. We'll lapse. So we said no problem. A month, they took give us a letter. You will see one electrical company sending a letter to you that your fare that they said we should give you, it will soon lapse. So, and that is the thing. If we can make sure that there is consequences for every action, I'm telling you, just use 1 or 2 people as scapegoat. And when you want to use scapegoat, use big people.
Yeah,
even the corruption we are talking about.
Exactly.
When you use 1 or 2 people as a scapegoat, I'm telling you, those ones that did not have anybody, so if they can do governor, former governor Lagbaja, former president Lagbaja like this, me that did not even governor, I did not even councillor, they will kill me.
They will kill
you. Just maintain your sanity,
and
that is
actually very good.
Okay, thank you very much for that. It's very important, like I said. I do not know why. I wish you could have one of the representatives from any of these airlines tell us exactly what happens, and you just have to cancel on your customers just like that. Without even talking to them. You even see some of the people that are handling the traveling cases and all of that. You see them, they can even be rude.
Exactly.
I think there is one like that. It's a foreign airline. You know, at times they don't even like those people that is corporate. Their lives are more restricted.
Actually.
A friend wanted to travel to UK. We were there, and I told him, I said, come, don't be like the one in your UK, that 30 minutes you can get to the airline, whatever, they will see board you. This one, if they say 1 hour, be there 2 hours before that time. Could you believe that we are there even 3 hours? We went to the canteen, we finished eating, we came back. When we now get to the counter, they said they closed. Are you is something doing?
Are you playing?
2 hours before boarding. Don't you check the time? He said they close. Are you? I dropped that one. What's your problem? I said, action, please calm down. I said, just calm down before we know it. Under the curtain, I don't know how they say, they can still accommodate you. If you like, don't accommodate anybody. But this one will fly. And that was how the guy was done. Do you know that after taking them from that place, this waited before they could fly? About 3 hours after. Upon that, they said they closed. They are looking for 50 pounds, 100 pounds. They are going to use to bribe them.
Okay.
I said, that one now said, after he reached UK, I said, truly, anybody that is going to be your Nigeria must have crazy. This is the way you drag that guy. Every one of them, they just troop out. They say, we are going to allow him. I did not even tell them I'm a journalist or anything. I just dragged the guy. I said, well, 2 hours? Are you serious? Where is the place that you even want to fly them?
So why do they always prefer being dragged? Why do they always prefer violence before they cannot do the right thing?
Anyways, actually, I believe for one is that if you know your product pilot is in this course or your what they call them again?
The aircraft.
The aircraft.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe there's something wrong. Why now book the flight? I don't know, like why did they now book?
No, look, I mean, with operation of airlines, things can happen.
Yeah.
You know, like in the case of the flight that I was talking about, they actually had hydraulic problems with the plane.
Okay.
But when I heard that, I was scared.
Which is
Because,
genuine.
that means that you can't control the plane.
Yeah.
So that's okay. It's how you manage
The
your
situation.
customers,
That
yes, the
matters,
situation with regards to
right.
your customers. That's actually what the problem is, and they know they can get away with it, so they treat us anyhow.
Maybe
We
they
need to
should put
stop
in
that.
customer care.
Customer care by name.
Training.
It's not about
They have all
those.
the
It's not
training.
about those
It's
people.
just- there's no
It's about
consequence.
system.
That's all.
It's about the system
no
now.
consequence.
When you do this, they sanction you. Do you know? I know of one person. He said he's moving from one state in United States of America to another state, and they just change the seats. They don't know how the changing of those seats, because that one said you usually love to sit by the window. And they said no. This is what I booked for. For that one alone, you took them to the regulator. Do you know what they asked the guy? They said the guy should fly their plane for 3 times, through and fro, without paying. Because at that time, he said they are going through psychological trauma. At that particular time. Come and psychological trauma in Nigeria and see what will happen.
They will add to it.
Honestly.
Okay, all right, let's move on to the next topic. There's a trending video also, and this one has to do with the FRSC. Well, the Federal Road Safety Corps has ordered a thorough investigation into a viral video showing an unidentified woman physically assaulting one of its personnel along the Lekki Expressway in Lagos. That was last month. And of course, in a statement released on Monday, the Court Public Education Officer, FRC Headquarters Abuja, Olusegun Ogungbemide, noted that the Court Marshal Shehu Muhammad also ordered immediate prosecution of the lady in the video. Well, before we start going for prosecution and all of that, let's quickly watch the video whereby a woman and an FRSC officer was being assaulted. We'll be right back. Welcome back. That was too much.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to say kudos to the officer for not even responding, but just acting way mature and civil, which is very good. But on the other hand, I have a question for that woman. Did she study? Did she try to train Tai Chi or that? I don't understand how you'd be able to have I don't understand the kind of frustration, the kind of anger that you would have, and even hit a man. I'm not even, let's be obvious, hit a man. And you keep punching in their office territory.
Wow.
You have, okay, I'm not going to use that.
Maybe she has some
so
level of
much,
connections too.
What connection? How would you have such connection and think you get away with that? That is actually absolutely wrong. I know woman person, but looking at this is extra. But who am I? We have analysts including. What would you say about that?
But for me, irrespective of our thinking against anybody in uniform in Nigeria,
Okay.
I don't know what has happened before this incident. I don't know, and I don't want to know.
Okay.
But this particular one that we've seen, as much as on this table, we have said it several times that human rights abuses, we will never tolerate it and support it if it comes from the uniform men.
Okay.
The same mind, the same attitude that I'm using it, that what the woman has done is wrong. I am totally 100% in support of FRSC to make sure they sue this woman, they arraign her in court, and the court should do the justice. Number one, the officer needs to be celebrated. I wonder where we are going to have a police officer or a soldier. I know that woman will not do it inside the cantonment.
You wouldn't even hear of it.
Actually.
You won't see it online.
So, it is important that this woman needs to feel it. If you look at this woman, this is the type of women that beat their husband at home. And if you see that woman, it's because she's facing a man that is not retaliating. That's why she's seeing that. It's a very good combative woman with her. You see that she's nothing.
Okay.
And one thing that is there is this. We shouldn't say because they are uniform men that a lot of abuses do come from them. That does not mean when they were being abused themselves. We shouldn't say, because all of them, we won't generalize, we will be specific. On this particular one, the woman has not done well. FRC Special Marshal, Dr. Olabisi, should try, zonal coordinator, should try much as possible, FRC Special Marshal. They need to take this woman up, and that particular officer needs to be celebrated. What it means is this. We still have some certain officers. We don't know what has happened before that particular incident, but on this particular one that we've seen, this woman needs to be prosecuted. If she has a defense, maybe the man has beaten her seriously before this particular one, and she has evidence, she should present it to the court, but she must face the wrath of the law.
Okay, Cheryl, please.
Well, let me act as her defense lawyer.
Okay.
Let me act as a defense lawyer because I know what it feels like to drive on Nigerian roads. And when you combine, look, I have run businesses where we had a fleet of vehicles and I had drivers report my drivers. And I used to warn them, I would sit them down. One of the orientation we give them is training them on the law enforcement agencies on the road and the kind of you can do to fall into the hands of the different ones. So there's LASMA, there's road safety, there's BIO, there's traffic police, there's the police themselves, there's now the CBD police. You know, that's 6, you know, on the same road, in the same country, in the same state. It's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. Okay. And I tell you that it can become traumatic to the point where you actually lose your sanity. You see, in that moment, that woman was not normal.
Yeah, she was.
And if you go to court, her defense, if I was her defense lawyer, I would plead insanity. You know, like,
even if she kills the officer herself,
it's insanity.
Insanity.
I'm telling you.
And they will put out the sanity.
She will be freed. I'm telling you. Look, let me tell you. There was a time, Mr. Ademiro, you will remember, during Ambode's time in Lagos, Ambode issued a directive that he does not want to see federal agencies on state roads. During that period, road safety left the road. VIO was only in certain places. And I tell you, for those 4 years, I drove on Lagos roads with peace of mind. Do you understand what it means? Like, your papers are complete.
Yeah.
You have all of the things that you need that this particular road safety that they ask for. Sea caution, your fire extinguisher, your spare tire. Sometimes they want to check the expiry date of your tire, you know, and all of that. You have everything complete. Your heart still skips a beat when you see them.
Yes.
Because one of them can just decide arbitrarily to, in fact, I've seen situations where they deliberately broke the rear light of somebody. When they found there was nothing they could hold, they broke the light to say, and how does the guy want to prove it that they're the ones that broke it?
Wow.
You know, so there's a lot of high-handedness in the way these uniform people treat Nigerians, and I think that it's all too much. It all adds to the difficult environment that we already exist in as a people. You are suffering from poverty. People are thinking about school fees, house rent, hot sun that is frying your brain and making you react slightly abnormally to things already. You see people with road rage. I keep wondering, when you see a man get out of a 2020 Benz, an SUV, a Jeep, in quotes, and he's wearing tie or wearing very neat, nice-looking Niger Delta, you know, native, and then he starts dragging with a Danfo driver, you know that man is not okay. Yeah. Something is wrong.
Yes.
So for me, I look at her behavior, it's not excusable, I agree with him, but I'm saying that there's a flip side to that coin, and we also need as a society to deal with that flip side. Look, a lot of these regulatory law enforcement agencies have no business on the road. You have no business. Automate the process. Make sure that if I commit an infraction, a camera picks me, like Lagos is now trying to do. Let a camera pick me, send my bill to my house. The day, if I don't pay, no problem. One day, I will come to the state government either to renew my license or to pay some tax or something. Then you make me to pay all my outstanding bills. And if I refuse, at that point you can arrest me. Not that you make life unbearable for road users.
But do you think Nigerians can get to that point?
We can. Look, Lagos is already doing it.
Okay.
Just yesterday, if you check your WhatsApp, you see there is this video trending now about cameras on Third Mainland Bridge. That the speed limit on Third Mainland Bridge is 80 kilometers per hour. So, I mean, how are you supposed to apprehend people that are overspeeding? Are you going to put policemen to be pursuing people up and down? So you put cameras. They are speed radars. So the thing picks your speed, sees that you are on 95 kilometers per hour. It records your license plate and issues your charge. They send it to your phone.
You can't leave it all to the camera.
No, the camera is enough, because if you know what we're saying is that if you continue to allow citizens to interact in situations of heightened emotion with law enforcement agencies, these types of things will happen. Okay. So you automate the process so that as much as possible, let there be free movement, free flow of activity, which eventually dovetails into economic activity. You know, so for me, I think that's my comment. The woman, what she did is not right. She'll probably be prosecuted. I hope that she doesn't go to jail because of this for me, because that would be a bit too much. But I think the flip side, we also mustn't ignore that.
I know if the reverse is the case, that the road safety man is the one that beats that particular woman, we are not going to give excuse.
We'll go to prison now.
We will not
I will agitate for them to jail him.
We are not going to be saying that man at that time
double. That's double
that psychologically.
Why would he beat her?
One thing there is this. I thank God that the National Headquarters of FRSC has taken it up. I love that, and I want the woman to be prosecuted, not because of her alone. Look, if you know those people that used to beat their husband at home, it's outside you are going to know. And you know the husband that cannot fight, you say, well, only you are going to meet your own. So only and another thing again is this. Let's be frank with ourselves. Out of all the uniform men, we look at the one still civil enough, is zero safety. You can't compare them even with VIO. You can't even compare them, don't even mention last man. You can't even compare them with, but for that. And another thing again is that audacity, that effrontery, they've arrested you, they've taken you to their office, in their office, in front of the other officers. Don't you see the way other people are saying, don't touch her, and the man was just doing, and one thing there is it, if it happens to be that, in fact, that woman, apart from being prosecuted, that particular vehicle, all the offenses, so far it attracts money. She will go and pay that money in Abuja.
Oh, wow.
And one thing there is it, until we stop all this, we should not forget that man is husband of somebody. Yes. Must he die because he's doing the work? I know that there are some excesses of some certain officers. I agree. But that doesn't mean, because if you want to be mad, go and mad at home. Don't be mad with another person's husband, another person's father, another person's uncle, because he's doing Nigeria. And another thing again is that the man should also go and test himself in the hospital.
Because all those kids.
Because all those kids, especially the one at the spinal cord. I saw that particular one when the man was backing her. So it is important that she go and check herself. And if anything come up, the woman should pay. Should pay for all those things.
I would also propose that the woman should be sent for psychological evaluation, because I'm telling you that she's
after serving.
No, she should serve. She should be sentenced. She should be whatever consequence she needs to suffer. She should suffer it.
And the way
but she should check her.
But the way she would have reacted to her children. You know that some certain mother, they are accidental mother.
My brother, look, this country, I'm telling you, we're not okay. We're not okay. We're just managing. Everybody just managing. I'm telling you.
Our leaders too are not.
Okay, I'm going to skip that part. All right, before our time is up, let's quickly check out for this one where, you know, from the presidency, they said no vacancy in Aso Rock until 2031. So I'm just going to read a little bit on that one. A chieftain of the All Progressive Party, APC, Joey Bokwe, has urged those not seeing presidential ambitions in 2027 to their schools. Now, in a post on his official page, Ibokwe said President Bola Tinubu would remain occupant of the Aso Rock villa after 2027, stressing that there will be no vacancy for a new president. Chieftain, he also urged those not seeing. Okay, all right. This is coming after amid speculations that the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in the last election, Atiku Abubakar, and as Labour Party counter Capital B are forming an alliance to sack Tinubu in 2027. So it's not just him. We also had what's his name?
Akume.
Yeah.
Secretary to the federal government.
Yeah, a lot of people are coming out and like, yes, there's no vacancy to 2030. When I saw the number 2031, I was scared. I was not even looking at who's going to take up the presidential seat.
This long?
Long, yeah.
Future till 2031 without involving me.
Blossom. You see those two people? Let me start from Akume. If I've been to Benue,
yeah,
those drinks in the southern part of Nigeria here that you can't see. You know, they belong to like North Central. So there are some hard drinks in Benue. Even the palm wine that you get in Benue is so different compared to, you know, they are majorly farmers and they are the food basket of the nation.
Yes.
So because of that, you can just overlook what Senator Akume said. So because the last time I checked, we are practicing democracy. Yes. And one of the tenets of democracy is election. If you now see somebody that is secondary to the federal government that will now say there should not be election, no, it is straight, no vacancy. Assuming it's his father's house, that he can put any tenant inside his father's house, he's just joking. So he's from Benue. And because of that drinks, you can just overlook Akume. You see, John Ibokwe is begging for relevancy. You know, since when he has been doing it, the only thing he was giving is special advisor on waterfront. And within 3 years, he was asked to go. He's looking for a way. And because of what he normally do before, that cannot be done again. Look, I don't care who becomes president, who becomes governors, who becomes House of Rep member. Do you know what I care for? The reason why I'm not care is because I'm not a politician. I don't have a political party. I'm not going to contest. That's the reason why I didn't care. But what I care of, I care about the law. Principle of law. What makes democracy different from autocracy, totalitarian, fascism, is because of the principle of rule of law. Whatever the law says, I always love to go according to that particular law. And anybody that wants to go against that particular law, irrespective of the status, is going to be the enemy of democracy. And anybody that is the enemy of democracy is my enemy. Because how will somebody saying there is no vacancy, a seat that belongs to Nigerians, a seat that anybody from 6 geopolitical zone of this country that can contest, a post that anybody that is qualified can fight for, a fundamental human right. When you now see these politicians in Yoruba, we used to call them akunje, those people that are looking for something to eat. So that you normally behave and talk in that particular manner. If it is monarchy, you can say no fancy. After all, if a king did not die, you cannot have another king. But in a democracy, when you now see those people that put themselves as a fake Democrat, saying there is no vacancy, I know President Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself knows that they are jokers. Because Bola Ahmed Tinubu put himself as a Democrat. He knows that he has to go through election before he could be re-elected. And that is the reason why you see that all what he's doing it ahead of that particular. He is preparing for election. You that you are not preparing for election, you are saying no vacancy. They should leave it for Nigerians to judge. If he has done well in the 4 years and majority of Nigerians support that, he will be re-elected by Nigerians. But if he has not done very well, the justice is in the hands of Nigeria, not in the hands of Akume and Ibekwe.
Okay.
So I think that as we speak now, Peter Obi, you know, that phenomenon. Look, let's make no jokes about this. What happened in 2023 was unprecedented in the history of this country, in the annals of our record keeping, of elections and of the existence of our society, that one human being who really did not belong to any of the major parties, and in fact he left one of the major parties and went to a party that is a nothing, as we can now see. As we can now see now, that party is a nothing, as we can now see now. And he garnered in a disputed result that people are even saying is rigged. 6 million votes.
Not easy.
Organic from young Nigerians. Look, what I saw in 2023 made my head spin as to what the possibilities are for this country. And then one person, let me guard my words. I have a much stronger word to describe either Igwe or Akume for saying what they say. Will now say is the Burukutu. Will now open their mouths in the public space and say there's no vacancy. They are jokers. Because as I speak now, Peter Obi, Kwankwanso, Atiku, El-Rufai, Patutomi, all sorts of calculations, amalgamations, you know, is happening towards the same 2027. He said there's no vacancy. There's vacancy. There's vacancy. They need to know that there's always a vacancy. Once there's an election, it's a vacancy.
Yes.
There will be a period when the president, even if he wins the next election, will be president and president-elect at the same time. Let's assume he wins the next election. He will be both president, incumbent. Then he will not be president-elect for the next term. During that period, there is a vacancy. He is on his way out. But he will now come back in based on the new mandate. What are they talking? So they can be saying all this absolute balderdash to their political lights and their praise singers. But for those of us who observe what is going on in the country and who can see the hardship that Nigerians are going through, you now have the guts to even be talking about elections now. Even the Tinubu himself has made it categorically clear nobody should talk about elections. Now let's face governance. Because at the moment, Nigerians are suffering. So you shouldn't be talking about elections. You should be talking about what are the things that are being done, that can be done, that needs to be done to make things better than they are now. After all, you know, yesterday I was looking at numbers and I just said to myself, my goodness, do you know that January of this year that we're in, dollar was 907 naira to the dollar.
Yes, it was.
907. Now it got to 1,007, depending on where. Depending on which market you are looking at, it even got to 1,009. Now, thank God it is coming down. And then, look, they met us in a particular place. We were okay. You know, $460 naira to the dollar was where this administration met us. The price of petrol was 197. Can you believe that? 197 just a year and a half ago. The price of rice that we were complaining then. We're complaining that Buhari has killed us, he has finished us. 45,000 naira.
We didn't know where.
That's how they met us. Now you have gotten us to this place. Instead of you, as the Secretary to State Government, Government of the Federation, talking to Nigerians about the measures that can be put in place or that you are planning to put in place to make our lives better, to take us back to where you met us to some extent. You are talking about vacancy in 2027. It's grossly irresponsible. I think that this man should be upbraided. The president should tongue lash him. I know he won't, because the things that the president will not say openly, he will allow his people around him to say it. He should be tongue lashed. So if the president will not tongue lash him, I'm helping the president on his behalf and tongue lashing Akume today. He's older than me. Sorry, you goofed. That was irresponsible talk. You cannot talk like that in the midst of the hardship that your policies have created. What you need to be talking about now is how to make things better.
Exactly.
You know, so they should stop deceiving themselves. There is vacancy. If they don't improve the lot of Nigerians, look, I know a lot of people who supported this administration with energy. No, I know some. They carried the strength and now they are now vowing that this administration will not come back. that if the thing does not improve, that they will fight with the same energy they fought with to ensure that they don't return. And somebody is saying there is no vacancy. There is vacancy, sir. And the earlier you quickly correct yourself, then the better.
Okay, Mr. Nuru, do you have anything
well, for me, I think this is the time that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu needs to look himself in the mirror and review himself what he has done, and look at the rest of Nigerians. Look, the yalogers, the traders, the carpenters, the bricklayers, the civil servants, they don't want to hear calculations about GDP, whatever. What they want to do, they want to use their lifestyle to measure the development. They want to look at what can I buy with my salary. What can I buy? What is the school fees is saying? What is the food shop is saying? What is the rent is saying? That is what they want to use to measure the development, the performance of this particular government. And it is a high time that this government should not listen to somebody like Akume, because Burukutu that is in Benue is so high and is so raw to the extent that somebody can misbehave when you are taking it. And for Igbekwe that is looking for recognition, Tinubu should beware of him and focus on the yearnings of Nigeria, so that this particular country belongs to everybody. We deserve to live very well. We deserve to be happy in our own country. If Trump is calling us nonsense in his own country, at least in our own country, we should be able to brag that we are Nigerians.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for that one. I just want, I hope we do away with the no vacancy thing and actually push forward. And I'm pleading to all Nigerians out there. If you've not gotten your voters card, start working on that. And of course, you have to come to vote. Forget the vote apathy thing. Forget the vote buying. We can still have a voice. We did it 2023. We're going to do it again in 2027. Please sign up first.
All right, till we come your way again. I really love what Mr. Nuruddin said. He said we deserve to be happy in our country, and I really hope that we're happy again. Until we come here again, your way again. It's the Lagos girl here. Always learn, keep learning, keep living, and keep loving. This is me signing out.
Okay.
Stay safe.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Nuruddin, for joining us. Amazing one. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shegun, for joining us. Amazing, Peter. I saw the fire and keep bringing it on. I always trust the both of you. You do amazing well on the show. Thank you, my viewers, also for joining. My name is Blossom. Tomorrow I'll come your way again. And of course, with confidence, we'll be bringing in relationship, lifestyle, and of course, fashion with branding videos online. Until